Hello students. I'm back with another video. Second story of second chapter for class 12th, Lost Spring. And second story, now second video, second story, I want to drive a car, bangle making industry, Mukesh and his dream. We have already done half of this story. Now we are starting from page number 18. Now, in the previous video, we have seen that this narrator, this writer, she wanted to get maybe first-hand information about this bangle making industry. That's why maybe she visited Mukesh's area and she met Mukesh's parents, his father, who is an old man, a poor man, and who feels satisfied that he is able to teach something to his children, to his two sons. And this something is with which these children would be able to earn their two meals. And this something is bangle making art. Now, she further gets to know that why these people, when they are not getting that much profit in this profession, in this trade, in this business, in this bangle making, when they are not getting that much profit, why they want to continue with this same work. Okay, so now let's see what their answer is. It is his karam, his destiny, says Mukesh's grandmother, who has watched her own husband go blind with the dust from polishing the glass of bangles. Now, she had a chance to talk to Mukesh's grandmother, and she was surprised to learn what they think. Maybe she might have asked that why you people do not change this trade, this business, when there is no profit. So what they feel? She said especially, it is his karam, his destiny. They feel that this is the destiny of the people of Firozabad. Means if they are born in Firozabad, it means they are born for bangle making only. So that's why they don't even think about changing their line. Can a God-given lineage ever be broken? She implies, actually this is what she means to say, that she feels that if the children, whosoever is born in Firozabad, it means he or she is born for bangle making only. She feels that this line is given by God, himself. God only wants them to be bangle makers. That's why they don't dare to change their trade. Born in the caste of bangle makers, they have seen nothing but bangles. In the house, in the yard, and in every other house, every other yard, every street in Firozabad. This is what actually they have seen. In every house, everywhere, in every yard. They have seen only bangle making. They have seen only bangles. And that's why they feel that yes, this is their fate. They are born for bangles only. They are born for bangle making only. Spirals of bangles, sunny gold, paddy green, royal blue, pink, purple, every color born out of the 7 colors of the rainbow, lie in mounds. Mounds means heaps. ढेर में पड़े रहते हैं. हर घर में ढेरों जो है bangles नजर आती हैं different colors. Lie in mounds in unkempt yard. Unkempt means unplanned way. They are kept here and there only in each and every house. You can see are piled on 4-wheeled handcarts pushed by young men along the narrow lanes of the shanty town. Shanty town, we can say that town which is not having very rich people. Shanty means huts, means that area where it's not very big bungalows are there or big houses are there. Simple people in simple houses live over there. And here, these people, when they make bangles, sometime on their handcarts only, they keep these bangles in the heaps of different colors and they go and sell these bangles in those areas. And in dark huntments means again small huts or cottages. In dark huntments next to lines of flames of flickering oil lamps, sit boys and girls with their fathers and mothers, welding pieces of colored glass into circles of bangles. And then she says, moreover, you can see that in each and every house, though these houses are no more than, small huts, it's not that they are having big houses and that's why maybe half of the houses is now, converted into industry area. No, it's not the industrial area. This is residential come industrial area. She has already talked that when she went over there, it was as if that they are living in, primal time, means when there was no, we can say, civilization, so they are still living in that bad conditions. And here boys, girls, day and night, these children, they are working and helping their parents in making the bangles. And one more ironical thing what has happened, this is what she noticed: their eyes are more adjusted to the dark than to the light outside. That's why they often end up losing their eyesight before they become adults. This one more thing she got to realize, that here these children, they are always, because they never get time to go out and play, because their parents would naturally need them to help them all the time. So these small children, they are always sitting in front of the furnaces, hot furnaces, and that's why their eyes are more adjusted to the artificial lights of small lamps. Okay, because they never maybe go out, even in the daytime they go out to play. No, they never get this chance. And that's why she feels that their eyes are now more adjusted to the darkness or to the artificial light of the rooms. And that's why maybe at very early age their eyesight becomes either very weak or they go blind. Savita. Now she has taken just example on it. This Savita is not very important character in the story. This is one of the examples. Savita, a young girl in a drab pink dress, sits alongside an elderly woman, soldering pieces of glass. As her hands move mechanically like the tongs of a machine, I wonder if she knows the sanctity of the bangles she helps make. Actually, now this is tongs is in Hindi we say chimta, okay, instrument to hold something. So she is now watching. Maybe she is visiting to many people, and there in one house she saw that there is young girl Savita, who was sitting over there helping maybe her parents in making the bangles. And she just started thinking, this writer, is it that this small girl, she knows this sanctity, she knows what does it mean to wear bangles, and she is making these bangles. It symbolizes an Indian woman's suhag, auspiciousness in marriage. It will dawn on her suddenly one day, when her head is draped with a red veil, her hands dyed red with henna, and red bangles rolled onto her wrist. Now she was thinking, this small girl, she's making the bangles. Does she really know the meaning of these bangles? Means in Indian families, in Hindu families especially, this is the sign of suhag, means the woman is married woman. Okay, maybe after a few years when she will get married, she would also get to know the meaning of these bangles. But right now, as a child, she's helping making these bangles, and maybe she doesn't know what does it mean. Like the old woman beside her who became one many years ago. One means here she also, this old woman also became bride. Okay, many years ago, and then only maybe this lady also might have got to know the meaning of bangles. Okay, she still has bangles on her dress, but no light in her eyes. Maybe this lady, okay, who was sitting along with this girl, or we can say this girl was sitting along with this lady. This lady was maybe was blind. She had lost her eyesight, but she was still wearing bangles. So maybe this is the effect of giving so many years to this bangle making work, and in the end they get nothing. They get only maybe this blindness. And this is what this writer now is thinking when she is looking at this small girl. Maybe one day she will get to know first of all the meaning of bangles, and maybe in the old age she will also lose her eyesight. But still they don't want to change this, we can say, this work. But no light in her eyes. एक वक्त शेर भर खाना भी नहीं खाया, she says in a voice drained of joy. She has not enjoyed even one full meal in her entire lifetime. That's what she has reaped. Reaped means got. When she had a chance to talk to this lady only told her, no, we were always very poor. It's not that this trade is very profitable. No, not even once I remember that if I had full one meal. But still, they were in the same profession. Her husband, an old man with a flowing beard, says, I know nothing except bangles. All I have done is make a house for the family to live in. Maybe this writer then maybe talked about changing this profession, and the old man, the husband of this lady, said, actually, we do not know any other trade. So that's why we don't dare to change our profession. We feel that at least something we are getting from bangle making. If they change to some other profession, other trade, maybe they won't even get anything. Hearing him, one wonders if he has achieved what many have failed in their lifetime. He has a roof over his head. The cry of not having money to do anything except carry on the business of making bangles, not even enough to eat, rings in every home. Here now, why people don't want to switch to some other business? Because naturally, every business demands investment, and these people are very poor. They don't have, spare money to put in some other business. Means they can't invest in any other business, and that's why they keep on doing this thing, whether they remain poor or not. Little has moved with time, it seems, in Firozabad. Years of mind-numbing toil have killed all initiative and the ability to dream. This is important line. Years of mind-numbing toil. Toil is hard work. Mind-numbing here means that hard work which does not allow them to even think something different. Means these people, they have seen nothing. They have seen only poverty. And that's why maybe they dare not to do anything else. They dare not to think anything else. And that's why maybe they feel sometimes there's numbness. This writer also feels that there is numbness in their minds. They can't think anything else. Why not organize yourself into a cooperative? I ask a group of young men who have fallen into the vicious circle of middlemen, who trapped their fathers and forefathers. So ultimately, she talked to certain, people who were young boys and girls. Maybe she talked to them, and she wanted to, motivate them to do something else. Okay, and what she said, she told them, why don't you try to make your cooperative? Okay, you should have your union, this kind of thing. Because these people, like their forefathers and fathers, they have also, they are also caught in the web of that vicious circle of middlemen. Okay, these middlemen, they never allow them to think differently. And what the answer she got? Even if we get organized, we are the ones who will be hauled up by the police, beaten and dragged to jail for doing something illegal. They say. Now, they said that why we cannot even think of doing something else, because if we try to do something else, if we try to think something else, if we try to switch on to some other business, to some other trade, then what will happen? Actually, these middlemen, they will implicate us in false cases, and they will put us in jails. Okay, we will be, behind the bars if we ever try to think something differently. If we ever try to think, we can say, or think to do something new. That's why they don't even dare to think anything else, because they know that these people, these middlemen, because they have their backing, they are very powerful people, and they would not like us to do anything else, because from these bangle makers only, these middlemen, they are making money. So if these bangle makers, they become, with that enlightened people, naturally they will never like. And that's why they said that actually these people will put us in jails, and that's why we never think of doing anything else. I think we will stop here only. Next portion I will do in the next video. Thank you.